been Expo Camden. Thank y'all so very much for your patience. Y'all look good. I'm so proud of y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, I need y'all to make some noise and show all the love to Miss Rose McGowan. That's love. That's what I'm talking about.
All love. I am here representing, well, here's a charmed one. And being that Paige was half white lighter and half charmed, we're going to need some healing energy in here today.
Yes,
so I'm going to ask you guys to do me a favor. They're queuing up a song, and I think you might have heard it. It's called How Soon Is Now. And there's some lyrics in it that I think are particularly fitting for Shannon and for Holly, for Piper, Prue, Phoebe, Paige, Leo, everybody involved in the show, and then you guys, which is, I am human and I need to be loved just like everybody else does. And at the end of the day, that is what we have. And at the end of the day, that is what our dear Shannon meant to us, what Prue meant to all of you, and to so many out there. And it is my great honor to let you know that she was as brave and as badass as she seemed, and you know this. And there are so few heroes that are on the public stage that are real. And to come from an industry and basically be born into an industry as Shannon Doherty was, where it's heavily relies on looks, it heavily relies on image, and for her to shed all of that and be like, you know what? I know you at home suffering feel like you are the only one in the world with this, with whatever we have that we're suffering. And guess what? I'm gonna reach out through this screen and we're gonna be together. And we are united and we are not separated. And that to me is the true meaning of sisterhood. Sister to brother, brother to sister. And it's truly what Shannon was and what she meant. And how much she cared for and loved all of you. And how much she loved coming to these and meeting all of you. And I so desperately wish she could have been here. But she is here, and I think we can all feel her. And so those of you who can stand, if you could stand, will you stand with me now? Let's do a little revival, whatever you believe in, whatever you feel, it's all energy, it's all magic. So do me a favor, okay? Even if your phones are up, raise your hands in the air. Look up to the ceiling. We miss you, Shannon.
We miss you, Shannon.
Thank you. We pray for you, we honor you, and we are with you. And I know that every single one of you that she met along this journey, she's holding you now. So we feel you, we honor you, we love you. And in lieu of a video montage, we have all of us together, holding space for each other, and holding space for Holly and all of those who love Shannon so dearly, that are grieving and are hurting at this very moment. But we're here to celebrate and shine a light and heal together. And we're here, and that's all right. And we love each other, and we love you, Prue. We love you, Charmed Magic. We love you, Charmed Family, forever. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That energy. Okay. I wasn't gonna cry, but I might. Goodness.
I was told there'd be a video montage, and there's not. And so that was not planned, and I'm sorry I'm wonky, and I'm not
No apologies.
thrilled with this.
No. What that was authentic from the heart. It was everything that she deserves, and we are so blessed that we got to be a part of this with you. That sets the stage for what I first wanted to talk about, which is sisterhood. What a perfect embodiment of it. What does the term sisterhood mean to you now, even before everything else?
That's a very beautiful question. You know, I think sisterhood, I have 3 brothers. And so first I was a sister to my brother. And I was the oldest sister.
Mm-hmm.
And in this lifetime, how unique to go from my own family, where I also had 4 sisters, big family, to then playing the youngest sister.
Right.
And Holly and I last weekend were talking about how she was an only child, and then she was the middle child.
Oh, sorry, yes.
And then she was the eldest.
Right.
That in this life we got to have all these unique birth order experiences. And what sisterhood means to me is just no matter what, you're there. Even if you don't like each other, you're there. Even if, like, in that moment, you know, when I fell on top of my sister's, she was on the bottom bunk. And it was my first Thanksgiving in the US, and I'd eaten too much pumpkin pie, which I'd never had before. Italy doesn't do Thanksgiving, you see. And I threw it up all over her face. And I still remember her little hands. And she still loves me.
That's right, that's right.
So there's one form of sisterhood, but there's many forms. There's sisterhood in being a good human, being a volunteer, being there for others, being there for each other in a real and unique way. And getting to go on tour with Shannon. And after all of we would laugh about how our lives were this parallel, strange. Like we first met, literally caused a car crash. There was a 3-car pileup in front of us. We did a cameo in a movie together.
Where?
In nowhere.
Yeah.
Exacto. And it was that, I mean, what a cataclysmic event that our long journey together, even when we weren't in each other's lives exactly, but we always were. Because I was asked about her for years, and we were pitted against each other. And what I love about her, and we never rose to the bait. We were like, no, absolutely not. And to me, that is sisterhood. The bonds of like, that is actually real. Like, if feminism can be real, that is real. And that was on, she was fucking badass.
Come on, that makes sense. Hearing you speak about this parallel path that y'all were on makes me so believe in the magic that was established with Charmed. It's bringing it to reality where you see how life functions in this magical sort of way. In your career, what are some of your favorite magical moments?
Well, I mean, just the first moment of just being in Charmed and putting out my hand and saying, you know, and then the candle appeared. That's kind of the light that started it. But even before that, you know, for me, like, being in Scream and the magic of that set. I thought kind of all sets would be like that. I was very young and didn't really know. And Wes Craven, what? I mean, literally a wizard.
Absolutely.
A wizard and an amazing human being, and that we're all still here talking about that, and that we're still here talking about Charm. This is incredible. And Jawbreaker, Darren Stein. You know, besides like writing a hell of a script, and nobody, you know, kind of at Columbia, now Sony Studios, like believing in it, and Jawbreaker, I remember like an executive being like, "Well, are you sure you should be working with the first openly gay director?" And I'm like,
Yes.
learn it, live it, love it, bitch. Yes. He's just a director, who with an amazing vision, who obviously has a unique experience that is making this unique movie. Let's go. Let's do this. And we're still talking about that. In fact, I was just in Germany a couple weeks ago giving a speech, and I was told by a young man I met there that Jawbreaker is their Easter Sunday movie. Every Easter, that's what they play. I was like, this explains a lot about Germany. but it made me very happy too. I was like, okay, interesting window into the psyche, yes.
I love that. I love it. You are so iconic in so many different ways, even in how you stand up for the culture within Hollywood, standing up for yourself. When it comes to that presentation, is it something that you feel a responsibility that you're teaching those people that are coming after you for how to stand up for themselves?
Not with an interest in Hollywood people doing that, no. With an interest in the greater world doing that, yes. For me, I was always, when I did Charm, I was very intent on, I was kind of a weirdo, shocking, but true. And I would kind of send messages through the camera because I knew I was going to basically go to space. Literally, if you think about it, there's a satellite up there. And I am being pixelated into millions of little particles and then reformed and appearing on your screen. That's so weird. Strange, right? So I was thinking then, I was like, I bet I can transmit messages to the viewer.
You do though.
And I would really see in my mind's eye, like a child or somebody at home alone after school after being bullied that day, or somebody crying, or somebody lonely, or somebody just wanting some more magic in their life. And before I would start the scene, or even then, I would kind of turn and I would kind of do this, and I would be like, you are magic, you are strong, you are brave, you are powerful, you will meet yourself someday, you keep going, and we will meet someday along the line, keep going. And I would just transmit these weird little thought messages.
That's why we're all here. We got the message.
Thank you for receiving. I don't know, but I do feel like people that were raised with that show have a special kind of magic to them, absolutely. And for me, it was really important in this life. It always hurt me seeing how teachers, not all of them, but the kind of, not the teachers, the system, let me put the system, right? And the message in general, when I was growing up for people, was you're not good enough, you're not beautiful enough, you're not smart enough, you're not cool enough, you're not this enough, you're not wealthy enough, you're not this. And I was like, yes, you are, in all the ways that are not in a capitalistic society, in all the ways that actually matter, yes, you are all of those things. I dispute this. I don't believe this. And I came from, maybe you can tell, a hippie commune. And I was just raised differently. I had a different, I didn't meet the outside world, literally, actually, until I was old enough to disagree with it. And I saw its messaging very clearly. And they told me, wow, what you grew up in, that's a cult. And I'm like, and they're like, you escaped. And I was like, you live in it. And to me, cult is part of culture. That's what it is. And, it sounds like a scary thing, but there's so many levels of cult-like control and thought control, from your family to a religion, maybe, or to, it can be in a relationship with coercive control, like someone controlling you. There's a lot of levels of cult, and we can all just think differently. You have to unwire, you have to do the work.
Absolutely.
But for me, I was just no, I disagree that we're less than, and that there's these people that are on an altar that we need to worship. F that.
That's right. They don't deserve it. They earned it. Absolutely.
But we can all be on that thing. That's the thing. That's what I meant.
We can all rise to that occasion.
Right. So for me, it wasn't about putting a message out to people coming up behind me in Hollywood. It was just putting out a message to the world, if you're 85 and you've been put down your whole life, put that shame aside and rise. It's your time.
Thank you for that. Because I think either personally or through your work. I am going to invite you guys to line up to ask a couple of questions. I have one last one for you. With you having such a beautiful worldview, what do you do to stay grounded and kind of keep yourself in a, come on now, come on, let us know. Tell us.
It's a piece of lava from Kona.
Wow.
And before I had been stalked by a bad person for about 22 years. And it was in 2006 17. And I had been writing my book, Brave, for a couple of years, which had really not much to do with the stalker, but they made it seem like as if it was. Stalkers are total narcissists and so dull. They're so boring. Like, really? Really?
Right?
So, there's all these people trying to kill me and stuff while writing this book, which had nothing. I was like literally telling stories about like breaking into my mom's house through the cat flap. Dog flap, Tatum's in the future. And pawning the Christmas presents. It was not a story about this person. It was like a story about bravery and thinking differently, and which I guess can be threatening too. So I set up these articles. I contacted a journalist named Ronan Farrow. I contacted the New York Times, and I set them about kind of playing against each other for this expose.
Okay.
And I wanted other women to have the platform to talk.
Right.
They often let me be in the news as one of the first to speak, and I'm like, fuck you, you know the truth. I fucking set it up.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right.
And I gave other people a platform because I had an audience, I had a microphone. Others didn't. So I stepped back. But my thing was like, I never wanted to talk about this, but I knew it was going to be really, I was like, okay, I played superheroes before. Let's just try to see if we can do a little bit in real life and make the world like 10% better. Just with a different thought paradigm. Just think differently and act a little bit better than we have to, right? So I went to Hawaii the night before kind of these exposés broke, and I was exhausted. I'd been being harassed and followed and bugged and had drones flying around my house and people trying to run me off the roads for like a couple of years straight at that point. And I couldn't tell anybody about it. I don't know why I'm telling this now, but this is the story of the goddamn rock.
That's no. It's the building.
And I was like, I have the power! And I visualized, like, literally just picked up this rock, just like this big rope with fire, and just like, because I knew I was gonna like probably die doing this. And I'm gonna go put this rock back when I don't need it anymore. I'm returning to where it belongs. But for now, I need a little protection, and I think we can all use that.
Yes.
Thanks for indulging me in my story.
That is beautiful. I love it. Let's go ahead and line up here. Hello, friend. How are we?
I'm good. How are you?
Wow.
I have a question about the screen. I know you're here for Sean, but I have a screen question. What was your favorite scene to film in the screen for movie? You want to raise a movie?
Of course.
Actually, I know a lot of people think the garage scene, and that is certainly an incredible scene.
Yes.
But for me, there was a quiet scene that was on the porch with just
Sydney.
Sydney, exactly.
Yeah.
Sydney and Tatum.
Yes.
And she's like, and it's this quiet moment, and I remember Kevin Williamson, the writer, screenwriter, who's so great. He said that was just a transition throwaway scene just to get me from this scene to this scene. And he said, but it turned out to be one of my favorite scenes in the movie. And he said that to me like right after filming, and that always meant a lot to me. And I think, but also, you know, let's go, Ghostface.
That's a good one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, I'm Matthew. Can I film this? You said it's cool, right?
Yeah.
Holy crap, okay.
It's your movie, Matthew. Come on.
Rehearsal is key, everyone. Hey, Rose. Hey, man. I'm gonna ask you if you have like a funny anecdote about traveling with Shannon, but if you don't, like, it's cool. I have a charm question as a backup.
No, I love that, and I want to acknowledge that it's very strange, unique to be in this moment, missing Shannon and this happening, and also being able to laugh and to cry and to alternate between those two. It's a crazy human experience. Shannon, which is for me, was her laugh. I actually loved being on stage with her at Q&As. And we did a last one together in Houston, I believe. And we were both like, Houston, come through. Houston had some amazing questions. No pressure, Toronto. We were really, really impressed. She said that was one of her favorites. And And I think, just the fact, like I said, that our relationship started with us sitting together and causing a 3-car wreck in front of us, steaming, cars on top of each other. And if you ever see the movie Nowhere, you'll understand why.
Yeah, it's so good just for that 1 minute of you guys.
Yes.
And Tracy Lawrence is in that scene
Exactly.
also.
Thank you for that. Yeah, it was amazing.
Cool.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Stay tuned.
Hello.
Hi, I'm also Matt.
Hi, Matt.
Hi Rose. So my question is that I'm sure a lot of us here have listened to your album Planet 9.
That's right.
It's actually gotten me through a lot, as you know. And with this celebration with Shannon, it's bringing up a lot of memories. So I just want to know, if you could talk about the process of you making that music, and it's extremely healing, and it's great if you haven't listened to it, and I recommend it to everyone.
Thank you so much, Matt. That's so beautiful, and it was really beautiful to see you today at the table, and for your beautiful, incredible illustration, which I absolutely love.
Thank you.
And for reminding me that I messaged you when you lost your dear friend a couple months ago, or last year, and that you've gone through it. And for me, when I created Planet 9, so when I was little, the way I dealt with getting sent to a different country, having my name changed, and the world be different, was I created my own planet. And I named it 9, and it would come out of the ceiling and lock around me. And when people would throw things at me and be like, freak, ugly, and all the stuff they love to say every day, I would just be like, yo, I got my own planet locked around me. You don't exist in my reality. You're fine. Go away. And so then, I would draw my planet. I would wonder, what kind of neon gases would be on my planet. Spend a lot of time on another planet. And then, as we do in life, we forget about things. And I did. And then, right as I was writing Brave, there was in the news, it was astronomers believe they found the mysterious Planet 9. And I was like, no way! And I had this completely, and I have no offense to anybody who loves this, but I'm not a huge musical theater fan. But I had a very musical theater response. I was like, I must make music for my planet! And I was like, nerd. And I would always been really interested in sound frequencies and how, in fact, pre-1940, all music, orchestral, everything was mixed on a 432 hertz frequency, which is said to massage the left and right brain. It literally actually massages your cells. And I thought, well, I would like to, I think that would be the thing. So I made this album where every track is the ascension from Earth. Basically, you're a rocket ship, and every track is the level of getting out of the atmosphere. The first one is the fire lights under the rocket ship, and then takes you eventually to your very own version of Planet 9. And so it's called Planet 9, and it goes with my book, and I did it simultaneously. I went around the world. I was lucky enough to know some cool musicians who produced a really amazing band called Massive Attack, and we produced some Daft Punk songs, and with them I kind of created this kind of digital analog sound. I used my voice to make it kind of sound slightly digitized, even though there weren't effects on it. And one of the tracks was, I started it with my favorite movie, Blade Runner. Blade Runner dialogue,
Awesome.
yeah, it was
The music or?
no, it starts it with the spoken word.
I've seen
things you people can't imagine. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watch sea beams glitter in the dark, and all these moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die. And then one of the chorus of that track is, only here to paint colors on the sun, only here to see the fires run. Because that is what I believe the humans are here to do, just experience that. Yeah.
Make some
Thank you.
noise, y'all.
And I recommend listening honestly on YouTube music because it's higher sound quality than Spotify. And with headphones, it's like a 38-minute meditation. I guarantee you will feel physically and mentally different after. It's pretty dope.
The one I'm on tonight. Hello.
Hello, my name is Ian. If you can't tell from the accent, I'm from the Caribbean. First of all, before I answer my question, I just want to say thanks, because growing up queer in the Caribbean, charm resonated because you had a secret too, and that secret could get you hurt.
That's right.
And charm gave us the magic, especially as marginalized people, and permission to be who we are. So just thank you for that. I don't think the impact that you had on people like me, you really understand what you did. Now more than ever, we need the magic of charm. So how do you keep that magic now through hard times like losing Shannon and the craziness that's going on in the world? How do you keep that magic alive?
With every single one of you right here today. With your question, with you passing it on to your kids, or your neighbors, or your friends, and keeping that love alive, and also knowing just really like it's important. It was important to have been there in your life, for me, for Shannon, for Holly, for all of us. And I think just starting with the knowing that you're magic, that you have that inside of you, and that we all have a secret, something that makes us feel different than the outside world. And when we realize that if each of us had a secret, not a bad one hopefully, but that, and we do things not for personal gain, but to make the world a slightly better place. And that we can go and just sprinkle a little magic dust wherever we go. Whether that's just a smile to someone who looks sad, or doing something without the anticipation of getting something in return. A lot of people are into manifestation, that's cool, but a lot of it seems very about getting something in return. Physical objects, certain houses, lifestyle, things like that. And I think actually it would be cooler to do it I would like to have the cashiers back at the grocery stores.
Come on.
And people to smile at you after you've been in a long line. You know, I would like to have someone at the airport that's nice. I would like maybe even the DMV on the flip side. Oh, big ass. But bless you for making it from the Caribbean. I live in the Mexican Caribbean, and it's amazing vibes, and it stays in your body forever. So,
Yes, thank you for the magic.
Thank you.
Hello. There we go. I do want to run the line. We've got like 10 minutes or so we'll try to get through.
I'll make my answers much shorter. I'm sorry.
Hi, my name's Sarah. I want to ask, throughout your career, you've played obviously a number of illustrious different characters, and something I've noticed that's been a common is a lot of them have some incredible clothing. Your wardrobe throughout many of your roles have been amazing, and I was wondering what, if any, the different wardrobe pieces that you've had have helped you get into character, and were you involved in kind of picking and choosing those pieces for certain characters?
Great question, thank you, Tara. Yes, yes and yes. Not a Jawbreaker. Jawbreaker, that costume designer, Vicki Brinkert, was so badass. Like it was very rare that I fully was like, yes, you can do this. I mean, obviously we went through selections and I had input, but what was there? She was the most talented probably. Playing Miss Kitty in a movie called Monkey Bone, that was an incredible costume designer. She was had an Oscar, she was incredible. For me, Scream, Tatum. If you see the red and white striped pants, those are mine. The white boots were mine, the black belt, and that one was just because I couldn't let Tatum be put in overalls and white Keds as was planned. I was like, I had a very clear vision for that character, and I also saw Wes's the storyboards for how they were going to shoot the garage scene. So I see the thing where they show Tatum like bent over getting the beer from the fridge, and I know there's going to be a camera on her backside. So when I went to the mall the night before filming and bought all the outfits that you see cosplayed still, which is amazing by the way, I saw this skirt that had like this like kind of geometric swirl, and it ended here and there. And I was like, I'll prank the movie theater people. So when Tatum bends over, it's like coming to the vortex. So it was like, just a prank, right? But then like here we are, like 20-something years later, and I'm like, still rocking the prank. I'm proud of that. Good question.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, thanks. First of all, a huge fan of your work on the screen, but even more so of your justice work off of it. Something that Jawbreaker is one of the greatest movies ever made, and I shout out also to Shannon and her role in Heathers and Breakers for that film, a lot of that. So I think what I want to know about is when it comes to sort of choosing a way to represent feminism and to represent women's telling stories. I love how in both Heathers and Jawbreakers, a lot of it, and in Death Proof as well, a lot of it is around like camp and play and silliness. And I think that it can often be like written off as unserious, but I'm curious what your thoughts on choosing to play feminist perspectives with silliness and fun.
Well, okay, I'm gonna be really straight with you. I did not go to university. I don't know, did you?
Yeah.
Okay, so people would be like, you're like a third wave feminist. I'm like, what does that mean? I don't know. I was not, I liked people that left a mark, that did not belong to either. That when I chose roles, I wanted people that kind of like, here's the timeline of like history. This one stands a little bit just outside of it with little asterisks next to them. It's interesting. And like when I played Tatum and I knew she was gonna die, I added the word mom right when her neck gets crunched. Like, mom, like it's the last second, to humanize her. Because I knew that in horror movies previously, whether it was a guy or a girl, if they're dead, it's just about like the death, right? And I was like, no, I want this to be about the life, and I want people to feel like they lost something. But firmly for me personally, I don't like labels. I don't, I think that word, unfortunately, I think it's been so weaponized. And if I said to someone, would you like to have dinner with Rose McGowan? Or would you like to have dinner with Rose McGowan, the feminist? And I hate that we're here, but I think, I really don't like how systemically, not individually, because you're bad, but systemically, it turned into putting another group down to elevate another. I don't like that in any grouping, and I would love us to be human and get past that. I know, but I'm a utopian weirdo, like I said. But I do believe in people being strong and badass, and certainly in Hollywood, where I grew up for a lot of the time, it was like 99% men, and like it was very much, it seemed like that was how the outside world was. But I think in order for us to heal, which is we're at where we are right now in society, we need to do something different. But I think I'm really hella proud to have just been with cool, badass characters who happen to have a vagina. Nothing wrong with that. By the way, if it was pronounced in the Latin way, vagina, I think the world would be a better place. Vagina. Thank you.
Hello.
Hi, Rose. Ryan here. I just want to thank you for providing a space for us to bring a little bit of your magic to honor such a remarkable woman who I had a chance to get to know a bunch of times over the years, and I even did an acting workshop with her. She was amazing. She was so funny. She was incredibly warm with her fans. Genuine, incredibly talented, and just to see that you are carrying the torch still, and just letting people know what an incredible woman she was, and you're incredible too. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Ryan. And I love your Shannon Doherty strong shirt.
Thank you.
Because she certainly was. And we have to be strong to protect our softness, and she had both. And thank you for recognizing that. Her comic timing was wicked.
Oh yeah.
So true.
Hi, my name is Alicia. I am also an actor, but mostly in theater. I have a question. What kind of advice would you give to aspiring artists in this day and age to continue pursuing, and how to navigate the industry? Like, what would you say to someone who was struggling, who's still holding on? Because I think, I failed college. So, I went to theater college and I failed. I didn't actually finish my program. But I've been doing, things. So I'm just asking, as, from woman to woman in this industry, what would you say in terms of, carrying forward and navigating the industry?
I don't know about the industry because I think it's pretty clear that they kind of want people to be at home with VR goggles and and that's it. You know what I mean? I think we can refuse that as a society. I think the world would be a better place. One, I commend you for keeping going. It's very hard. Being an artist in any form at this in any time in the world is very challenging. So much respect. I think it doesn't, you know. If you have to have another job and you're doing theater, great. If you're just literally doing a scene with a partner on a stairwell, but you got to create something and leave your body for that magic, or if you got to write a song or write a poem or do something that a goddamn stupid computer could not do because they would never be fucking human. Mad respect. Keep doing that. Keep doing things that feed your well, that feed your cup, that feed that artistic thing. And then it doesn't matter if someone puts a pro label on you.
Yeah.
I never believe that just because someone says, paid me money for a photograph I took, that makes me a professional. No, you can always say, I am this, no matter what. It does not have to be value for money. So
I like
keep
that.
going.
I love that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So we technically run out of time. So this is what I'm going to ask. Everyone that's still in line, I want you to come up here to the stage. Very quick. We have some t-shirts.
Amazing.
You all get a t-shirt. I'm going to ask Rose if you would help me pass this out.
My question for you was, you mentioned asking how you would like Paige and not prove if it were ever to happen. Obviously, it's not going to now. How would you like Paige and prove to finally meet each other if you actually have the chance to do so?
Paige and Crew. So Paige is orbing up to the top of the Golden Gate Bridge. And Crew's hanging out there. And I think they meet on the astral plane. Shannon had an amazing podcast called Let's Be Clear, which is one of her great projects. And we had talked over and over about me being on it, and we just thought there was more time. And Wednesday, 2 days ago, I got to carry the torch for her and keep her voice going in that way. And it came out today, and I listened to it on the way here. It was very, very profound and special. And for me, Prue and Paige, I would love you guys to write. Anybody who writes or does comic books or just, let's do an alternate, like a parallel universe where they're together and they're on adventures, with Piper too, of course. And that would be amazing. Hello, Wendigo. Jared, damn it, see? Oh, we gotta go. Well, they're kicking us out.
Expo candidate.
We're
gonna keep the spirit of charm going. Everyone, we're gonna have to exit out this way. Make sure one more time for our ASL team, making sure that everyone is participating. We thoroughly appreciate all of you and all the love. Come see Rose at her booth and show her all that love as well. Thank you all so very much.